We're going to have tremendous problems. It's getting worse and worse. And those problems are coming from a certain sector. Now, I did it for a limited period of time, but our country has to get its act together. We have people that don't know what they're doing, and we need safety. We want to make America great again, but we need safety in our country.
And what I don't get is when Trump talks about keeping us safe, when he talks about keeping out all the Muslims until we got a handle on what's going on, he's treated like a Hitler. I don't get it. When FDR kept out the Japanese, kept out the Germans, and the Italians. Carter, remember, he banned Iranians. And Obama, what a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. He's banning right now Christians who are fleeing Syria and Iraq, who are being butchered. But he said, oh no, he says, we only can allow those who are being butchered by an organized regime. I didn't think there was a distinction when someone's head is getting cut off, especially an infant, did you? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Well, today a lot is going on, especially the stock market. Now, the market, you can tell that oil, every time they drop it just below 37 bucks, the plunger team comes in and they push the stock price right up. Now, who's the plunger team? I won't get into all the details, but it's a group of people put together by the president. And they take care of the market. Anytime that something goes on in the market or reaches a crucial point, they don't want it to go through that crucial point, either down or up. They will then bring in J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the group, who is chaired by the president, and say, okay, we want you to buy more oil stocks. Like in this case, we don't want oil going below 37 bucks. Bring it in. Start buying. And that's what they do. So they try to support the market. And that's what they're doing with oil. See, we got a real problem. As I tell you over and over, our politicians are not being truthful with the state of the economy. Not at all. Corporate earnings, I told you that 2016, I said those corporate earnings in 2016 going forward are going to be worse than 2015. And when Aunt B came out last week, and she's saying just the opposite, even though the Atlanta Fed, underneath her, came out and said the opposite of what she was saying. They're saying that the earnings, the profits in 2016 are going to be worse than 2015. And here's the proof. Holiday spending, we just got the numbers. What a disaster. Black Friday, we talked about this yesterday. I told you this was going to happen. Black Friday to Cyber Monday, that weekend, there has been absolutely no follow-through momentum. And you see that all the time. You see that all the time. You'll see that they'll have a little boom starting with Black Friday, and it follows, then when it tapers off, and then bang, you have momentum going through it. A follow-through. None. We haven't seen that. Chain store, same store sales have crashed. I mean crashed over the weekend. 6.3%. Now, take Japan. Now, they've fallen back into recession after their strongest QE. But after this news of the retail sector, and after seeing what happened with Japan falling back into recession after they did QE, and yet Yellen says she's going to raise rates. Meanwhile, Europe is in real trouble, real weak. China and the emerging markets continuing to really slow. And the stock market is higher by over 200% from 2009. Not because of increase in profits or new technology being developed through R&D. Nothing to do with that. Not even from increase in sales. It's all from printing money to buy bonds, to move investor out of bonds to stocks. And then that's called QE. And then they started stock buybacks to start funneling $5 trillion to companies, so when they're not doing business and their profits are coming down, so their stocks won't come down. They funneled in $5 trillion for them to buy their own stocks. They buy their own stocks to push the market up, to keep it up. And we've been watching the market stall, the S&P stall, for almost 7 months right here in a narrow range. 7 months, because right now the big institutions are not going to put more money in this market at this point, because they know a 200% gain in the stock market since 2009, all caused by printing money, either buying the bonds to make the yields go down, to make them unattractive so everybody gets out of bonds to go into stocks, or by stock buybacks. They know that they're not risking any more money. They're not going to risk any more money. There needs to be a catalyst. And I think to move the stock market higher from this point, to add on to that 200%. And I think that's why she is going to do the rate increase. Now, I've been the one saying I don't think she'll ever do it. I think she's going to, and I'll tell you why I changed my mind. As I said to my gang, I was thinking about it. I say, how could she ever raise rates with the economy the way it is? She's going to kill the thing that's keeping the economy alive. Automobile sales. Why would she do it? She's going to kill the stock market. That hit me. That's what she wants to do. Because she needs an excuse to bring in QE again. The bonds, when she was telling everybody we're going to raise rates, everybody in Europe dumped their euros, came over here to buy dollars. That's what pushed the dollar up. And instead of going into the stock market, they went into the bond market. Now we got yields at 2.2%. And we got all these people, Japan, China, all over. They're all buying bonds, but they're not buying stocks, so we can't break out. 6 months we've been going sideways. So she's saying, I'm going to raise rates. That's going to collapse the market. That's going to drop the market. We're going to test the August lows. And then I got an excuse to bring in QE. I can't just say today, December 9th, I decided we need QE. No, I have to have a catalyst. I need to have something to justify quantitative easing, to print $85 billion a month out of thin air, to go back in to buy bonds, to push the yields, the interest rates down, so everybody has to get into the stock market to push it higher. So if I raise rates, that will do it. Because if I raise rates, the market is going to fall. It's going to drop. That's why she's doing it. That's why she's doing it. That's the reason behind it. And I didn't even think about it until over the weekend. I came back, I told my gang, I can't believe I didn't think about this. Gold. Everybody keeps asking me about gold. What's going to happen with gold on December 16th? What will happen? Will it go up? Will it go down? Well, gold, you got to know about gold. Gold never does well when rates increase. Know that. As gold always looks less attractive relative to income-bearing assets. Remember that. So to understand how gold reacts to this increase in rates, I'll explain that when I get back right after this break. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We'll be right back to explain the dollar and its relation to gold.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Look, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Our economy has been moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. This is the same guy that told us we could keep our doctor and we could keep our health insurance. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, I have the best teaching format in the country when it comes to learning how to invest in stocks. People will tell you that. Look, we can't listen to Wall Street. We can't listen to our government. We listen to our charts. That's why you join philsgang.com. Food stamps have exceeded 45 million for 50 straight months. And he's telling us things are good. What are you, nuts?
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You know, it used to be, hey, what's that hot stock? There's no hot stocks anymore. You know what it's all about now? It's identifying when to get in the market, when to get out. And why? Because the market is rigged. It's rigged to go up. There's nothing better. It's rigged to go up. It's called quantitative easing. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Have fun with us in a rigged market.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
Saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything will be taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
The Trump campaign for months now has had a dustbin of history-like quality to it. From the vacuous sloganeering to the outright lies, to even the fake hair.
Unbelievable. That's the White House. Are you kidding me? The press secretary talking about lying? When lying is the cornerstone of Obama's administration. And he's got the nerve to come out and say, Trump lies? Even if it was true. Are you kidding? If you compared the lies, nobody's a bigger liar than Obama and his administration. We can keep our insurance. We can go on and on. But let's go on to the markets, more important right now. December 16th, we're going to get a rate hike, or at least we're going to know. And many people want to know what's going on with gold. What will happen with gold? Because gold's been, it's being depressed. Because the Federal Reserve does not sell gold. They sell dollars. So they've been depressing the hell out of it. Well, it's very easy to figure out. Gold goes up on strong jobs. Gold moves, you always got to remember this, gold always moves the opposite direction of the dollar. So now you got to ask yourself what moves the dollar? Interest. And here's the key. If interest rates go up, the dollar goes up and gold goes down, and so does the market, stock market. If interest rates, on the other hand, go down or remain flat, she doesn't raise rates, the dollar will go down and gold and the stock market will soar. Gold will soar, I should say. So if she doesn't raise rates, then we're going to see gold, we're going to see the dollar go down, and we're going to see everybody who's got it wrong. Hedge funds are shorting so much gold right now in gold mining stocks, believing she's going to raise interest rates, which means the dollar goes up, okay, and the market, in the gold market goes down. The stock market goes down, but gold, we're talking about gold. Gold down. So everybody's shorting gold with the idea she's going to raise rates. The play is to be on the other side of the trade, that she's not going to raise rates. That's the play. Now, between now and the announcement to predict which way the dollar's going to go, which way the gold's going to go, which way the market's going to go, because they all work together. Because again, the dollar, the interest rates affects the dollar and affects the stock market. So between now and next week, there's going to be all kinds of volatility. You're going to see the market up 200 points, back down 200 points, up 100, back down 100. It's going to be very little volatility. So that's why we use charts, and that's why you should use charts. So that when you spot a trend, you can stay with that trend. You can be convinced. I'll give you an example. Let's take AU. That's gold. When gold turned from green to red, it told us that the institutions were pulling their money out. Do you know it dropped 20 or 35%? So if you were a gang member and AU was one of your stocks and you were using my PT2 chart and we identified it turned from green to red, you would have made money. You had a drop of 24% in that stock, in that gold stock. You could have captured most of it. Let's say you only captured 10% of it. How wonderful. Let's do it the other way. When it turned from red to green, it went from $7 up to $10. $7 to $10. So that's a 42% gain you would have had by simply being a member, and that's one of your stocks, AU. You saw it turn from red to green. That's telling you institutions are buying it. Then you buy it. It rallied 42%. And then when it turned from green back to red, it told you the big boys were pulling their money out, and then it dropped over 35%. So it's so easy. I know green and red is Christmas colors, But it's also Christmas here at Phil's Gang all year long using that chart. Green and red. So simple. Here's what I want you to do. And it's a great gift to somebody. You should give somebody this gift. You should give it to your kids, for heaven's sakes. Get them to learn how to take care of their own money, especially the market. The stock market is the best place in the world. You're never going to use the days of using your home, the equity in your home, those days are gone. People don't stay in their homes long enough. A person buys a home, he's there for 5 years at most. Then he moves on to another one. It's not like our grandparents or our parents who used to buy a house and be in it for 20, 30 years. That don't work that way. There's no equity anymore. And if you get equity, you're always refinancing it. So a house doesn't work. The market does. If you know what you're doing with the market, but you got to know what you're doing with the market. That's the problem. That's the problem. What are you doing with the market? That's what you have to do. So, and the only way you're going to know what you're doing with the market is if you're using a chart. That's it. That's the only way. Because the market identifies which way the money is going. That's all a market is. How do you think a stock goes up? Why do you think the Federal Reserve on B gets together and prints money and buys all the bonds to lower the rates so the market goes up? It's money. It's all money. They have the printing machine. If money goes in, the market goes up. Money goes out, the market goes down. It's so easy. It's just, look, I always tell my gang members, I can't teach you experience. I can't teach you experience. Okay? And I can't teach you patience. But I sure can identify for you these great tools. They work. You don't need to know anything about the stock. Take Ford. Ford's another great stock. Ford, when it turned from red to green, it went from $14 to $50, almost $16, about 20%. That's all. That's all you had to know, the change in color. We'll be right back here at Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Do you think gold is money?
No. Gold's not money? You got to be kidding. That's Ron Paul asking Ben Bernanke. Of course, Ben Bernanke lied. Of course gold is money. But here's what he doesn't want you to know. They've been suppressing gold, trying to push gold down because it competes with the dollar. The Federal Reserve doesn't sell gold. They sell dollars. Gold competes. Gold will dictate in a free market where interest rates should be. That's the last thing they want because they manipulate interest rates. Now, has your broker told you that? Has your planner told you that? No. Well, I told my gang that. I explained it to them, and we positioned ourselves to be in a perfect position for gold and copper as it dropped. That's why you want to join my gang, Phil's Gang. We're right on top of this. philsgang.com. Join today. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Generally agree that monetary policy was not the main reason for the housing bubble.
What are you, nuts? Of course monetary policy was the reason for the housing bubble. That's Ben Bernanke. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. He's lying. Listen to this. In December 2000, interest rates were 6.5%. Within the next 30 months, Bernanke dropped them down to 1%. Because of that, mortgage originations grew from 1.5 trillion to 5 trillion. That was by the end of 2003. The housing bubble was inflated, and it was continued being fueled by his policies, which eventually we saw mortgages that grew from 28 trillion mortgage to 50 trillion. He lied. But here's the important thing. We were able to take advantage of that here at Phil's Gang, and we were able to make money because of it. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it, using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's Christmas season. That's right. Everybody loves Christmas, and the favorite color of Christmas is green and red. You see it everywhere. Well, that's my favorite color too. And it's my favorite color of my gang because we have Christmas year-round. How does that happen? We have what we call PT2, a wonderful tool. It turns green when it tells us the institutions are buying a stock, and it turns red when they're taking their money out. Nothing better. Green to buy, red to sell. Oh, I know you've heard this stuff before, and it doesn't seem silly and all that, but it works. It works. It's Christmas time year-round here at Phil's Gang. It really is. Check it out. Call or go to my site, philsgang.com. Check out the PT2. You'll love it, and you're just in time because they are going to start rallying oil stocks. And when it turns green, we will be in position to buy. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
AMVA, and I've lost over 30K on it, but it had excellent earnings the last several quarters, and if they make the cameras and drone equipment, I don't know why it's so weak these days.
It's so weak these days because you don't pay attention to what they make. You don't care about their earnings. The problem is the institutions are pulling their money out, and that's all you need to know, and that's what we identify in the chart, and that's why I become a Phil's Gang member.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. The stock market, as I said, the stock market's a wonderful place if you can get your head around the fact that the stock market doesn't go up on all that nonsense they tell you about, that you got to know about the price to book and price to sales and margins and sales and this and that. Who cares? All you have to do is identify if the money's going in, if the money's going out. I'll give you one more. One more we did. Schlumberger. Now that's an oil service stock, Schlumberger. Now this stock, so easy. When it turned, Schlumberger, when it turned from green to red, we had 11% gain. And then when they pulled their money out, it turned red again. And it dropped 10%. So you had a trend of 11% because you saw the money changing. And then you found another trend where you made another 10%, or if you made half of it. The idea is you got to keep what you have. Retirement is upon us. 77 million people, baby boomers, have an average of $25,000 in their savings for retirement because they wanted everything. Going back to 2000 and the whole housing boom and the refinancing, they took everything out of their homes, all the equity out of their homes. They spent more than they were making. They thought this was just going to be Goldilocks forever, and now they're retiring, getting near it, and they don't have the money. 77 million. That's almost 72% of the people getting close to retirement don't have the money. So at least try this. At least let me reach out to you. And all I'm asking you to do, if I'm helping you, and that's why the 5 stocks are a wonderful thing. Because those same 5 stocks, and we do bonus stocks. Now, Schlumberger was is one of our 5 stocks. The gold stocks, those are our bonus stocks, and we did well with those. So let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG. Check it out. Call now. Stephen's there. Denise is there. They'll talk to you. They'll explain to you about the PT2, about joining the gang, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Get your kids involved. Let them learn how to read the chart. It's so simple. If they know what red is and green is, they can read it. And just let me guide them. That's all. It's a great thing for kids. It really is. Get them started in the market when they're young. Okay. Trump. I want to talk a little bit about Trump, because this is disgusting. If you really think about what's going on here, I couldn't believe Ryan this morning. And I think I got a cut with him, and I'll find it. But Ryan this morning, he comes out right here. I have the cut. And he comes out. Listen to what Ryan says.
Normally, I do not comment on what's going on in the presidential election. I will take an exception today. This is not conservatism. What was proposed yesterday is not what this party stands for.
Oh, your party stands for nothing, the Republican Party, just like the Democrat. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Isn't it amazing? I don't see what Trump did wrong. After all, take FDR. He's the poster boy for the Democrats. He made Trump look like an altar boy compared to what FDR did in the aftermath of Pearl Harbor alone, not counting what he did to the Germans, what he did to the Italians. Are you kidding? Within weeks following the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Weeks after the Pearl Harbor bombing, he gave orders. He told people to surrender their cameras. If you were Japanese, you had to surrender your camera, your shortwave radio, a radio transmitter, another kind of contraband. Flashlights, boats, binoculars. If you had a weapon, including hunting rifles, you had to surrender those. Trump didn't ask for that. He prohibited any of the Japanese to travel outside of a 5-mile radius of their home. Even for employment. If you had a job, it was outside the 5-mile radius, you couldn't go to that job. You were banned from entering what they call strategic areas. Power stations, airports. In San Francisco, Giuseppe DiMaggio, father of the baseball great Joe DiMaggio, could not visit his son's restaurant because it was located in a prohibited zone. FDR did 3 proclamations. 25-25 for the Germans, 25-26 for the Japanese, and 25-27 for the Italians. He demanded that all native citizens or subjects of hostile nations, whether it's Germany, Japan, or Italy, or its government, being of the age of 14 years and up, who shall be within the United States and not actually naturalized, shall be apprehended, restrained, secured, and removed as an enemy. So, and they had the same proclamations for all 3, Germans, Japanese, and Italians. Compared to what FDR did, are you kidding me? Trump looks like a weak person. He looks like a Mickeltos. He looks like Peter Pan. All Trump was asking was to put a halt. A simple halt to letting the Muslims come in and to dopes like Paul Ryan figure out what the hell's going on, to get a handle on it. That's all he said. He didn't say, hey, I'm going to go and take their transmitters, their radios, I'm going to imprison them, I'm going to put them in an encampment. He didn't say that. Yet, compared to Trump, FDR, he's the one that looks like an evil monster. But yet the Democrats look at FDR as a hero. A hero. In fact, they have monuments all over Washington celebrating FDR. All over Washington. You have the big monument in Washington. You have the thousands of locations named in his honor in streets and endless celebration by the likes of Time magazine and Life magazine. All hypocrites. But Trump? Oh my God. This is it for Trump. And this idiot yesterday, Joe, in Morning Joe, here's what he said yesterday.
that this might be the time that he crossed the line.
Then this morning, he says the opposite again. He's driving them crazy. He knows what he's doing. But what about Carter during the Iranian hostage crisis? He issued a number of orders to put pressure on these Iranians. Remember, he banned them from entering the United States? And then remember when he ordered 50,000 Iranian students that were in the U.S. to report to immigration office to be deported? Carter, here's the quote. Here's his quote. The Secretary of Treasury and the Attorney General will invalidate all visas issued to Iranian citizens for future entry into the United States effective today. We will not issue visas, nor will we issue new visas. Obama, what a hypocrite. He's banning today Christian refugees from coming into America. Why aren't we talking about that? He's banning Christian refugees from coming into America from Syria and from Iraq. But he's letting liberals, liberals like him are letting in the Muslims. And think about this. Obama's accepting 9,000 Syrian Muslim refugees. Yet he is so silent, and the press is so silent about him bringing in 20,000 Muslims a year, including that woman the radical Muslim, Malik, I think her name was, who murdered 14 people in San Bernardino, California through Obama's visa waiver program that has no screening or little screening. So here he is. He's saying to the Christians in Iraq and Syria who are being slaughtered, who are being murdered, who are being raped, the women, the kids are getting the babies, they're cutting their babies' heads off. Obama said, no, you're not allowed in the United States. But I will take in Muslims. I'll take in Muslims. And he's taking in, they're talking about the 9,000 Syrian Muslims. How about the 20,000 Muslims he brings in through his visa program? And that's how this Malika got in here and killed 14 people. What a bunch of hypocrites.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life, someone teaches us to play baseball, someone teaches us to ski, someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Back to Phil's Gang. Let me give you my number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, and we're going to talk about why you have to learn to make money when the market goes down. It's so easy. It's so simple. And today we got the numbers again. We got the retail numbers. Horrible. A disaster. The minute they stop pumping up this stock market with free money, this market is going to go down. I want everybody in the position to make money on it, just like we did with the dot-com crash, just like we did the housing crash. It's very simple why we had such terrible retail numbers over Black Friday and the holiday. Very simple. People don't have the money to spend. It's that simple. They don't have the money to spend because there's no economic recovery. There's no economic recovery. Just think about the dollar. The dollar alone since 2008 has dropped 35%. You lost 35%. For heaven's sakes. So all I want you to do is understand that this whole rally is nonsense. There's no recovery. There's no recovery. If there was a recovery, then why would they keep interest rates low for 9 years at 0%? Why would they do quantitative easing for up to 2012? 3 years. Printing money, sticking it into the stock market to push stocks up of companies because their stocks would be falling because there's no profits. And then when they stopped doing that, why did they turn around? And from 2012 to 2015, they're doing stock buybacks, printing $5 trillion to give the companies to buy their own stock back because they know when they report their earnings, their profits are down and their stock will drop. But to prevent it from dropping, they say, let's go buy some of it. Let's keep buying it. In the meantime, people are getting laid off. People have part-time jobs. And now we find the truth. It was one of the worst Christmas shopping sprees over the Black Friday. So here's what we're going to do. I showed you and I told you by using the simple chart, not only did we make money in IBM, where we saw when it turned from green to red, it dropped 15%. 15%. So my gang, that's one of our 5 stocks, could grab, even if they grabbed 10% of the 15%. What's wrong with that? Intel, when it collapsed, it went down 14%. Let's say they only grabbed 5% of the 14%. What's wrong with that? I know about stocks going down. Nobody's ever showed you how to make money with stocks going down. Goldman Sachs, Another one, 14%, went down. My gang, let's say they caught half of it, 7%. Caterpillar went down 24%. Say they caught 12% of it. I mean, I don't get it. And Schlumberger, 20%. So they caught half of that. All you got to know is how to make money when the markets go down. That's all you need. It's simple. You don't have to know anything about the company. Please try it. Get your kids involved. Hold on to what you have. You just think you lost out from from the year 2000 or 2001, we'll say, to where we are today. You should have been getting a 10% return every year. You should have been able to turn $100,000 into $345,000, $375,000. But you didn't. You were in bonds. You were in fixed income. Please don't make that mistake. You think we're going to be this lucky? All the jibber jabbers on CNBC say this 200% rally is different than the two previous boom to bust rallies. How is it different? How are we going to be so lucky this time to think that the stock market is sustainable as it nears a all-time high? How can we say it's sustainable? Especially when you look back at the tech bubble. It was driven by companies with no assets, making no money. Just a name, .com. Or you look back at the real estate bubble. That was supported by liar loans. Both rallies, .com, housing con. We're not sustainable, but this one is? 220%, gone up 220% since 2009, hovering at an all-time high for 6 months. It can't break out. But it's different this time. It's different this time, the jibber jabbers tell us. In spite of the fact that our economy is growing at a pathetic 2%, and the gains in the stock market are not based on real growth or companies expanding or new technology, but solely dependent on printed money at zero interest. You've got to get that. Once you get that, then you can enjoy the market. It's not hard. Let me give you the number. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-GANG. We have Steve right there and Denise. They'll take your call. They'll explain it. It's $49.95. At the end of the month, you don't think it works, then leave. It's that simple. But you got to at least keep what you got. Let me help you keep what you got. And then when you do, and you're doing well, please send money to St. Jude, to Partners in Hope. Partners in Hope. I want to close with one thing here to show you how phony these people are. Morning Joe and all these people. They're so funny. The Democrats, they all hate Trump because they did something nobody else did. And he's driving them nuts. He's a master at marketing. He's driving them crazy. So crazy their underwear is rolling up in knots. Can't you hear their high-pitched voices when they're speaking? He's driving them nuts. They've never seen anything like this. Know why? Because finally somebody comes out and tells the truth. Someone comes out and tells what we know, but nobody's ever had the guts to say it. Why do you think they're flocking to Trump? Why do you think they're flocking to him? Now listen to this. Listen what Joe says yesterday. There's no hope after what Trump said. Listen.
That this might be the time that he crossed the line finally. You and I have been together laughing at people that have been predicting his impending doom because of one overreach or another. But actually, last night, you actually came to the conclusion, okay, this may be what finally does it for...
No, really. What? Now, today... Listen what he says. He says totally a different take on it. Right here.
You see the firestorm, but you look at the latest polls, and Donald Trump's blowing everybody out in New Hampshire. This race isn't even close anymore. And those thinking that the remarks of the past 2 days are going to somehow cause a dip in those poll numbers.
He was the one. He's driving him nuts. I just played the cut. He just said, this is it. This is it. Oh, really? The truth always prevails, doesn't it? Look, we have a great country. The only thing that's bothering you right now and bothering most people is retirement. Yes, we're worried about the nuts, okay, over there in the sandbox. What's retirement? That is scary. 77 million baby boomers who blew all their money have nothing left. Nothing left. What a scary feeling that is. And now they know they got to work to the day they die. It wasn't supposed to be that way. Bush duped us into thinking we're all millionaires. Go out and spend. Refinance your house. Refinance your house. Use it as an ATM machine. Go ahead. Then Obama comes in. Brings in QE. Brings in stock buybacks. Oh, look at the market. Look, the economy's doing. And then he screwed everybody with Obamacare. Everybody. Obamacare was never set up to help people with health care. It was set up to turn this nation into a socialist nation. We all know that. We all know that. He hates America. He hates this country. He hates free markets. And he hates Christians, for God's sakes. I just want to ask him, when someone's head is getting cut off with a knife, do they sit on their knees? Are they trying to draw a distinction between, let's see, this guy, does he belong to an organized group? Oh, I feel better. Yeah, he doesn't belong to this guy's cutting my head off, but he doesn't belong to an organized. I feel good about that. Imagine telling the Christians who are fleeing, hey, Muslims, all come over here to the United States. Matter of fact, we're going to sneak you through the visa program. We'll tell them we'll get everybody talking about the 9,000 Syrian Muslims we're bringing in, but we won't talk about the 20,000 we'll bring in the back door through the visas. Especially that crazy lady Milka, or whatever her name was, that killed 14 people who got one of those visas. Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing? You think he'd be shutting that program down. All right? All I care about is this. I want to help you with your retirement. Call right now. Keep what you got. 877-600-GANG, and I'll help you do that. Join my gang now.